I'm Jean de Villiers, and these are my 5 favorite things. Okay, let me start right at the beginning. So firstly, I actually don't have 5. I'm gonna go with 6. I'm gonna go with 6. Okay, where it all started for me, my very first rugby jersey. There you go. Playing for Paul Gymnasium. A number 7. Thank goodness I didn't play number 7 at the end. But yeah, obviously very cool. There you can still see my name written there. So as you do growing up, there's a lot of hand-me-downs. So this was a hand-me-down probably from my brother, and then it was a hand-me-down to whoever lived in the neighborhood. And then eventually, I think it was only when I became a Springbok and had a bit of a professional career, then the people that had this actually got it back to us. So I've kept it ever since, and yeah, I think a very cool thing to have still in my collection. I've got a beautiful video of my son also when he was like 2.5 years old, wearing. I've actually got it on my phone. We're gonna add it. Running around with this jersey on his wall, and it's like way too big for him, and he's now almost 11 years old already, and actually playing rugby. So that's where it started for me, and Paul Gymnasium, very close to my heart, and a great education and great way to grow up at a school so full of history and tradition as Paul Gym, and my kids are there now as well. I then obviously had the great honor of playing professional rugby, and a couple of things that actually stand out and very similar in a way. Firstly, also a brand that I'm extremely proud to be associated with still is Adidas. And for my 100 test match, they actually made this boot specifically for me. I think they made 20 pairs or whatever. So these are the ones that I kept. It's got my autograph on there. It's got my Springbok number 735 at the back, and the green and gold colors of the Springbok. So very cool to have these, and hopefully one day, I don't know if my son will actually continue playing rugby, but when they play in boots, hopefully his feet will be the same size and he can wear it one day as well and play rugby in it. Then continuing on the trend of the Springboks, so I was extremely fortunate to be part of the group that won the World Cup in 2007. Even though I got injured the first game of the tournament, and then it's not the gold medal, but it's actually a Cartier watch that we all received for that win. I'll actually take it out. I don't want to break it. I don't actually wear it that often. Do you see the watch? Very nice, and with my name engraved at the back. I don't know if you can you see? So yeah, that's very cool. So along with the gold medals that we received that day, we got the watch as well. Now the story behind it is that they actually handed out the watches the evening of the final. So we got back to the hotel, and then went to our team room. Please don't break this. And they handed out the watches that evening already. What does that mean? It means that they engraved the watches even before we played in the final. So they took a gamble. Bet on the box and you will win, and you can engrave beforehand already. What's that? 3. Then the fourth one, or maybe maybe the one goes with this one, and it's this one. Ooh. You recognize anyone? That's me and Madiba. and Bill. See, Bill. That's after we came back from the World Cup. We did our ticket tape parade, and to have a picture like this with the great legend and the World Cup in one picture. And then I was a little bit forward thinking, and I sent it back and asked him whether he could sign the picture for me as well. So I've got a special. This is a very special picture, and obviously the fact that he signed it as well just adds so much more value. So I'm going to put this one with that one because it's like a World Cup. And these two actually go together as well, because for my 100th test match, once again, so normally when you play your 50th test match for, I don't know if it's the same still with the box, but back in the day they gave you a watch for your 50th test cap. So very nice tag warrior watch that you could they put a value to it, and then you could choose whatever watch in that price range. And then for your 100 test matches, because I was only the fifth to play 100 test matches, they didn't have like a standard in terms of what you get. So then they asked, well, what do you want? And I decided on this, and it's a book that the sponsor at the time got made. So it's got my name and the logo and all of that, and it's basically my whole career, a bit of a message, in the front, and then my whole career in a book form. So with every test match, so first test match, then Corne Krige was captain on the day. He wrote a little message with a picture of that. Second test match, scored my first try, in that game, and a message from my brother. Then also pictures of that tournament. John Smith with, our first Tri Nations that we won. So message from John Smith. And also, so other, again, my family, my wife, my parents, Renee Naylor, who was our physio, and whom I spent a lot of time with doing rehab. Flecky, who coached and captained me. Ernie Els, again, Ernie got to know over the years, and a message from him. Jake, and also guys that I played against. So Richie McCaw, again here. The very last one is obviously my 100 test match, and then photo of my wife, who was luckily also there, and a message from her and my two daughters, because my son was not born yet, so he's not in the book. He'll be angry about that. But yeah, it's so cool because I go through these names. Andre Pollard, a message from Andre. We went to the same school and then played together as well. Darren Shand, the manager, he was the manager of the All Blacks at the time, and we had this, I got to know him over the years, and we had this moment in the one test match in Johannesburg in 2013, where now the team managers are responsible for the team sheets, providing the correct team sheets to all the officials. And there was a moment in the game where the All Blacks made a substitution, and they brought on Kevin Mialamu. I'll get this wrong, but for argument, it was a hooker. I think they brought on Kevin Mialamu, but Dane Coles was on the team sheet as reserve. And then there was like a big thing. Well, what are we going to do now? Because they didn't give the right team sheet, and the ref Nigel Owens got myself and Richie McCaw together, and I just said no. Let's just play on. He made an honest mistake, and Darren Shand actually came onto the field. So we got to know each other a little bit. So it's stories like that makes it extra special. Again, Skinstad, Sia, photos of Sia and his debut game, which I captained. Coach Heine Kamea, Sean Rue, I met at Stellenbosch and then played Province. So, you go through all of this. Rob Fleming, who was sponsor, managed all the sponsorships for SAB basically at that time, and ended up their marketing. So all the people that Dani Gerber, whom I looked up to, I still think the best player ever to play for South Africa. So it's got very, very cool memories, and that's what I got for my 100 Test match. So all of these, and the fact that so that's 1, 2, 3, and then those together 4, and then the 5th one is actually my phone. And it's my phone, and my wife said, "Oh, why do you got your phone? You're always on your phone." But I think more so because it carries so much. I've got a photo of my wife and my kids on the back, and on obviously the screensaver as well, and just all the memories that you carry with on this phone. In terms of photos and videos. So this is quite I think an important thing, because especially when you travel and whatever, you're away from home. But it keeps you connected, and then you can always relive all those fantastic memories. So that's my story, and this was my 5 favorite things. Done.